Alright, the question is, why do we apply our soaps and detergents from the bottom up and rinse top down? While I'm not an expert in the chemistry level or the physics of it all, it was explained to me by an expert, by lots of experts, on how to do this. So I'm going to try to explain this in a way that almost anyone can understand. And excuse me while I'm talking like this, because I'm not an actor or anything like that, so being in front of the camera is not the most comfortable thing, but I will try to explain this. Essentially, and I'm going to use the house washing as an example because this is where the question came up. Essentially, we've got sodium hypochlorite, we've got some surfactants in our detergent, and we've got some water. Basically a lot of water. And if you're applying those detergents from top down, below where you're applying is dry. So when it starts to run, it starts to come down in the streaks, it is spreading itself thinner and thinner and thinner. And when it's doing that, because it's spread much thinner, it can evaporate much faster. And that evaporation is essentially the absence of the water. So when this water is evaporating out of here, what you started out with a 1.5% sodium hypochlorite in the beginning may now be 5% sodium hypochlorite, or even 1.8%. Whatever it is, it's still stronger than the solution that got applied above it. It's stronger than the solution that's going to get applied as you work your way down. Essentially, it is cleaned better than the other sections were cleaned because it was spreading itself thinner. Same way when you mop the floor in your home, the mop isn't removing the water from the surface. You are spreading the water thinner so that it can evaporate. It's the same principle. So as it's coming down, it's evaporating and making that chemical stronger in the spot that it was on. And that's why you see the guys that are doing it this way sometimes end up soaping more than once, because they see that, oh, it's clean a little bit better there, so I need to put some more on. You may not ever get it to that solution again because it dried as it was going down and evaporated and became stronger. So basically, to eliminate that, or to limit the risk of that, we apply them from the bottom up so that the streaks are always running back into its own solution, into a wet solution, so it's not evaporating faster. That is essentially why, like the fleet guys, they'll all do it, especially the fleet guys, because they're dealing with something that's been sitting out, metal, dark colored paint, sitting out there absorbing heat, and it will immediately dry as soon as it goes on. So, and that's why, while I'm on the subject, that's why you never want the soaps and solutions to ever dry on the surface either, because it's pulling that water out, it's leaving a stronger solution, stronger than what you intended, and now you're starting to damage paint, etch glass, etc., etc. So that essentially is why we soap from the bottom up and rinse from the top down. Not that you're always going to streak, but it's definitely going to be a much faster process because you're eliminating that risk by soaping from the bottom up and not having to go over it a second time because one section cleaned better than another, or you saw those streaks. Hope that helps.